Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. So, as everyone knows, it's winter in the UK and the whole month of December has not been great in terms of the weather. It's been basically grey for about 3 weeks. I've only seen the sun once or twice in that time. So I did feel quite reclusive in terms of whether I wanted to go out and photograph at any point in December. Any of you who've been following my videos would have seen that my last outing was pretty much towards the end of November when I went into the Hyde in Wiltshire. You can check that out on my page if you so wish. So I feel as though I'm not going to be able to go out towards the end of this year. So instead I thought I would do another question and answer session now that I have over 600 of you following me on YouTube, which I am very grateful for. And yeah, just to know a little bit more about me and also to talk a bit about what I plan to do in 2022. So one of the questions I received, I'm not going to be mentioning any names in case people want to remain anonymous, was asking me to talk a bit about myself, my personal life, any other hobbies, favourite things, etc. So again, for anyone that's new, my name is Lydia. I'm 26 years old and I live in Lincolnshire, England, UK. I've lived here all my life. My family lives 10 minutes down the road from me, so I'm very much a Fenland woman. Oh, let's see, other things about myself. My full-time job is as a product photographer for a crafting company. I've been doing product photography since I graduated from college about 5-6 years ago, and I've been enjoying the work since. But during that time also I have developed my passion for wildlife photography. Alongside that, I just love doing bird watching. I volunteer at one of the RSPB reserves within the Lincolnshire area. I go there a few times a month, and I just enjoy looking out for any unusual bird species, any rarities, and also just talking to the public in general. I really enjoy hearing other people's stories, sharing my own, and yeah, just spending time outside, as I love to do when I do wildlife photography anyway. Some of my favourite things, well, my music tastes is a bit varied. I do enjoy sort of 80s rock. That comes from my mum's side with Queen, Duran Duran, and bands like that. And I do enjoy quite a few rock and metal styles of today's music. Yeah, it's just something that I've come to enjoy more than any other genre. Some of you might have already seen in my previous videos, I do have tattoos. So one of my first ones was an adder emblem. And then this is actually the bull orca jonco, which is part of the West Coast community of Scotland. It's a dream of mine to hopefully see him one day. I have tried to see him the past few summers, but he always turns up on the day that I leave. So it might be a sign. And then my most recent one is, I'll just come in a bit closer, is a puffin. I saw these on Lunga, again in the Inner Hebrides, and they're one of my absolute favourite birds. So I thought, why not get it inked on my arm? So yeah, that's just a little bit more about me. I hope you enjoyed that little segment. One of the next ones was what camera equipment do I use? So I have shared this with you before in one of my first question and answer sessions actually, but of course I shall show you all again. So this is basically what I use all the time. It is a Canon EOS 6D with a Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. I've had this for just over a year now and I really enjoy it. I love just the weight of it. It's quite heavy after a while, but the quality of the images that come out of this is amazing. The controls for focal length and yeah, just the focus in general, being able to manually override the automatic focus is quite good when I'm working with an environment where there's either lots of leaves or there's lots of branches or a grass on the ground, it's quite good to sort of override it just so that the automatic focus isn't constantly fixing on a piece of grass rather than the animal. And then I got this year. It is a 300mm EF lens, f4. So this is the widest aperture lens that I own. And yeah, again, I haven't been able to use it as much, but from when I've used it, probably around when I was at Frampton earlier in the summer, again, the focus on it is really good, despite it being second-hand. And yeah, just the aperture that I get from this is really, really good. So a lot of my equipment I actually get from MPB, not a sponsorship in any way, that's just where I get my equipment from. And yeah, just all the equipment that I've got from there is second-hand, but the quality and just the overall use of it is really good. It is as good as it being brand new. And then alongside the main lenses, I do also have an extender. So this is an extender 1.4 times. So I do use it with my Sigma lens. So from the 600mm maximum length that I get on the lens, this gives me, I think, up to 840mm. So any faraway subjects I'll be able to get. Again, not use it as much, but I do intend to use it a lot more next year. And also for my vlogging camera, it's another Canon, and it's the EOS 750D with a 18 to 55mm lens. It's a bit chunky, but again, really good quality, and it just, you know, helps me to record the environment I'm in. Yeah, and overall a good camera to use alongside vlogging, basically. Another question that I got: how do I shoot wildlife video? For example, the focus, exposure, and keeping it steady. Keeping it steady comes with great difficulty, I'm not going to lie. A lot of the time I am handheld. I just find it a lot easier to hold it myself rather than getting a tripod out trying to, you know, fix it all in place. But just to demonstrate, if I am shooting something quite far away, I will bring my elbows in and I will just basically keep as still as I can with my arms. I will exhale like that, and it just allows me to you know, hold my breath for a bit, allow the camera to relax in my hands, and then it becomes a lot more steadier for me. If it does come to a case where I do need a bit more stability, then I do have a monopod, just a standard, bog standard monopod that I fix to the lens itself. And yeah, that just provides a little bit more stability when I'm recording video. Obviously, with trying to photograph and video wildlife, the subject is constantly moving, so I do have to sort of counteract where the subject will go, so I know which sort of angle I need to move my camera at. And yeah, for the focus and the exposure, it's normally based on just what I'm photographing with. So I'll often have my Sigma lens at the widest aperture, which I believe is f5.6, on the aperture priority. So the camera will basically, once you set the aperture, the camera will work out what the best shutter speed and the ISO is under that condition. And yeah, I do enjoy having a blurred out background for my images. It still provides a bit of context in terms of the environment, but I just like to have that depth between the background, the subject and the foreground. So I hope that helps a bit. If you do have any more questions about you know, specific details on photography settings, then feel free to send me a message through my Facebook or my Instagram page, or in the comments below. Do I prefer walking for photos when I see wildlife, or do I prefer sitting and waiting? It very much depends. I do enjoy walking in wildlife anyway, so I'm more than happy to sort of have my camera in hand, walk around a particular area, whether that be a reserve or in the woods, and yeah, I'll just see what comes along. If it's the case that something's spotted either up in the tree, or you know, it's coming towards me, then that's where I would just stop and wait for the subject to come closer. I do, as I've shown in previous videos, I do try to stay in one place for a long amount of time, just to see what comes towards me. But I think just the idea of, you know, walking around in nature and seeing what appears, I do prefer that. And then obviously if it comes to the point where I need to stay still, then I will do so, however long that will be. So another one, what drives me to photograph wildlife? That's quite a good question, actually. I think I always had an interest, you know, in nature, watching documentaries on TV, and learning more about the local wildlife over the last couple of years. And when it comes to photographing them, I just enjoy capturing whatever is happening in front of me and then sharing it with other people. It's a lot of people can tend to forget the little miracles that go on every day in the natural world. You know, the fact that birds this time of year in the wintering season are flying thousands of miles across oceans, over hostile land, to get to their destination to either rest for the winter or coming across in the summer months to breed. And when you're able to, you know, capture those moments where you get new visitors or just finding, you know, the resident bird mammal species, then yeah, it's just nice to be able to record it, and to relive that experience. I love talking about my own stories with other people about, you know, when I heard my first nightjar, or seeing whales off the coast of the Isle of Mull, and being able to capture those moments and then just share it with other people. That's one of the reasons why you know, I enjoy doing wildlife photography. It's what's knowing that there's something happening every day, and if you just go out, photograph it, and then you never know what could happen. It could be, you know, one of the best experiences to date. But then it's also, like I say, the little miracles or the little daily actions that a lot of species are doing every day, you know, finding food, hunting for prey, socialising with the same species. And it's just that idea of going out, finding it, and just enjoying the moment as it is. It can be rewarding, definitely. And the last question that I will share is, what is the earliest wildlife photograph that I remember taking, and what was it? It was probably 2012. I spent the summer with a local wildlife photographer, and he took me to a site not far from my home, and he had, you know, certain areas set up for different types of bird species, and I went along for the day just to check out what was there. And I had my camera with me, and he kindly showed me, you know, the basics of using a camera. It was a really old camera. It was a Canon, and I think it was something like a 400D. It was relatively newish at the time, but it was passed down to me. And I remember we went out on a little lake to go and check on potential nesting sites, and I had my camera up, and there was a black and white streak going across the water, and that was one of the first pictures that I remember taking that I thought, wow, I really like this. And it was also at the time where I was just learning about different bird species. So the bird that I photographed, I didn't actually know what it was until much later, and it was an oyster catcher that was flying across the water, and I did actually manage to find the picture, so I will show that in the next segment. And yeah, that's definitely one of the first photographs that I remember. And alongside, on the same day, I was actually able to stay in a natural hide and photograph a reed warbler with chicks. Again, didn't have any idea what the bird was. I just went there to both assist the photographer and also just to, you know, test out my camera at the time. So I'll show you both of those pictures in the next segment for you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions that I want to answer for this session. I hope you enjoyed listening to my answers. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that I'm able to, you know, put this out to many more followers since I started doing wildlife vlogging. Despite all that's gone on, doing this has been really rewarding, and it's just been really nice to do, alongside just taking pictures, to be able to share videos of what I encounter and sharing, you know, what I think, you know, the feelings of what I've seen on those days. It's been really nice to do, and I am so much looking forward to continuing this into the new year. So in terms of plans for 2022, there are definitely multiple locations I want to return to, and to also find you know, new locations in terms of any bird species I want to find, or any mammal species. I'm very much looking to stick within the Fenland area, you know, going across to Norfolk, the north coast, and probably even further. Well, I've been to the east coast, but go further east to see what's out there, and also do stuff closer to home. There's just so many sites around here that I could just spend a whole day at if I really commit. So yeah, it's just to, you know, find local spots and just see what's there, basically. I will obviously continue to share my content online. I will continue to do, you know, these videos, these vlogs, and share them all on my social media pages. So if you're not following me through my Facebook and my Instagram pages, then I highly recommend you do so. As well as, you know, seeing my videos, you can also see the stills taken in each video as well, in all their glory. So yeah, just search for Pinfold Photographic on the Facebook and Instagram pages, and you'll be able to follow me on there as well as on YouTube. So alongside creating more content, it doesn't mean that I'll necessarily be doing it on a fixed schedule. So for example, I'm not going to say there will be a video out every Sunday, basically because wildlife is unpredictable, and I don't want to promise something is going to come out and then it not come out, basically because my subject wasn't there. So it's basically going to be on, you know, every time that I go out. If there's something worthy of showing to you, then I will. But yeah, like I said, it's basically because wildlife is unpredictable, and unless there is something, you know, worthy of showing, then yeah, it will just it will be shown to you in due course. That's all I can really say. But yeah, I'm very much hopeful for the new year of what I plan to do, and just to continue sharing it with you. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know that times again are once more uncertain, but I'm sending you all the love, all good health, and hoping that you will stay safe into 2022. I will be seeing you in the new year. Thank you very much again, and bye.